done that.
Become a member of the Speed 51 Video Network today at speed51.com. This is Chris Nunn from the Sling and Dirt Podcast and the announcer at Twin Cities Raceway Park in North Vernon, Indiana, and you're listening to The Finish Line with the hashtag king himself, Wesley Outland. All About Wraps strives to offer our clients with fast, affordable service with race wraps starting at only $500. From go-karts to national touring teams and everything in between. Late models, modifieds, sprint cars, midgets, asphalt cars, and we'll even decal your helmets. Wraps, design services, and promotions. Everything we offer at All About Wraps. Contact us today to see what we can do for your team. Give us a call, 410-903-3302. Email us at allaboutraps@hotmail.com and visit us on Facebook at All About Wraps.
This is Kate Dillon from CrateInsider.com and host of the Racing Insiders podcast. You are listening to my awesome friend Wesley Spider Monkey Outland. Now back to Finish Line.
This is Finish Line.
I was about to say, we used that in the last segue. Oh, my goodness. Welcome back. It's amazing how fast this show flies. You know that? Hard to believe we've been on the air for 90 minutes now. The world of radio is phenomenal. Podcasts are available on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, iTunes Radio, Tuned In. Also now, Spreaker and Spotify. All you have to do is simply put in, on all of those media forms, the hashtag Finish Line. Wesley Outland back here with you. Hope you're doing well. Next weekend in the Palmetto State of South Carolina, history will be made for modifieds of the dirt. In addition to bringing modified open wheel go fast back to the south part of the Carolinas, in at least South Carolina, for the first time in probably, oh my goodness, when's the last time modifieds ran in that area? 3-4 years, maybe more. It'll be under a primetime background, television background. It'll be live on the Speed 51 network. In addition to that, it will also be aired on a segment of Short Track America on the MAV TV Motorsports cable network. And to get all the details on that, we're going to go to the phone lines now. And we're going to talk with Michigan's Laura Tucker. And we're going to chat with her about this big marquee event that is coming up in May, coming up in May the 16th, 17th, and 18th. That is next weekend to be exact. The Dirt Cup Challenge, the big show. 3,000 win on Saturday, but of course another whole great 2 days before that. Laura Tucker's in the house. Laura, how you doing? Welcome to Finish Line, lady.
Hey, thanks a lot. Glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. It's always good talking with you, and I enjoyed working with you at Virginia Motor Speedway a couple of weeks ago. What a phenomenal show that was. Hell of a finish between Mike Altabelli and David Strimmy. I know my voice octaves went up to about the decibel level of sounding like Minnie Mouse or a girl.
Yes, it did.
But what a show they put on, racing each other, and in the end, David Strimmy got the win. But just great success for Bill and Clark Sawyer, Dave C., and everybody with the Dirt Cup Challenge and the All-Star Circuit of Champions on a Thursday night, might I add.
Absolutely. Like to have that done every week.
Definitely. You know, I'm probably going to put this out as a tweet when I sign off here, because obviously the weather doesn't look too favorable for this weekend. Again, go figure. Maybe these track promoters need to think outside the box, Laura, and they need to consider doing some weekly racing. By the way, props to Brad McCowan at Moeller Raceway Park, the new Moeller Raceway Park and Atomic Speedway. He raced on a Monday night this past week, this week actually, and he had a successful show, and my good buddy Total Chaos Chad Stapleton won in the Super Late Models.
Absolutely. When I grew up, we raced Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays at my local track, but of course I don't know how well that would fly nowadays, but if you look at the historical pictures from that track, every night, Monday and Thursday, those grandstands were full, and I do mean full. So like you said, it's something different than everybody running Friday night or Saturday night against each other. To think outside the box and do that Thursday night thing is just awesome. Or Monday, any day.
That's exactly right. Yep. That's exactly right. A lot of tracks, and this is, Laura's from up north. She's from Michigan. But a lot of people don't realize this, and Laura, I think you could testify with me on the podcast here. And the reason why I think we see a lot of tracks up in the Northeast race all different times during the week, and they're not afraid to do so, is because you only have like a 3 or 4 month span to get racing in, and that's it.
Yes, that's true. Because our tracks here in Michigan are trying to expand and start earlier in April, and like you said, the weather has not cooperated. Very few have gotten their races in. I think out of all the tracks in Michigan last weekend, there was 2 that actually raced, and or 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I'm sorry, but it's just not happening. It's cold. Besides the rainy weather, it's cold. It's cold.
Absolutely. Laura Tucker joins us. Now, Laura, you have got a phenomenal resume in your own right, young lady, or ma'am, in the world of racing. You have now jumped in also with what is the Dirt Cup Challenge, and you have got an historic event coming up next weekend in the Palmetto State of Lakeview, South Carolina, with Scott and Sophie Tripp and what they've done with Lakeview Motor Speedway and Alan Dietz, and it's just phenomenal. It is the Dirt Cup Challenge. It will be on the MAV TV Motorsports Network for a tape-delayed show of Short Track America. It will be live on the Speed 51 Network. Talk about how excited you are of what the Dirt Cup Challenge has gone through leaps and bounds and has grown to be in such a big event coming up next weekend.
Oh, we're extremely excited. The Dirt Cup Challenge started off, we just are promoting the UMP Dirt Modifieds and trying to make them strong in the Carolinas and Virginia and all in the southeast southeast corner of the United States. And it's just phenomenal, the outpouring of racetracks that want to challenge at their track. It's just been phenomenal. We got sponsors, and right now we have Brandy Holcomb is helping us to get some sponsors for the Lakeview race. Looks like every single driver in the field will have some kind of contingency to go home with.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, and that's what's nice. Besides just, of course, our 6'6" trophy that everybody is going for, and the purse and everything else. But it's always nice to have all these backup sponsors too, and for contingencies, they're very important. Very important.
Yeah, I was going to say that,
but
Laura.
This race is going to be. We're really excited about this, and the MAV TV, and of course, Bob Dillner has helped us a lot with the Speed 51, and we want to get his Speed 51 dirt out there too, because I did follow him with the asphalt side of it up here with CRA Tour and a lot of other tours. But this is going to be great. Yep. God's going to bless us with some nice sunshine and warm weather.
I hope so. Especially for you coming all the way down from Michigan, from pure Michigan. You better have some nice weather when you come down here.
Absolutely. Well, I keep telling everybody, I don't care what the temperature is. I'm used to that. I want some sun.
That's it. Definitely.
Sun.
Keep that white stuff up there, if you know what I mean.
That's right. That's right.
Definitely.
Yes.
And by the way, you mentioned Bob Dillner, and I've had the privilege to know Bob Dillner for almost probably a decade, maybe more. Done some stuff with him a while back for radio. Didn't really pan out. We parted ways. You assume, not really parted ways, but it was only a one and done deal. And then, of course, did the modified race with Renegades of Dirt at the Modified Nationals, and worked with my great friend Alan Dietz, and of course, to have the privilege now, and again, like Bob Dillner said, maybe the time wasn't right, maybe you wasn't mature enough, maybe everything just wasn't in the right right gelling of having people work with each other. But now we're working with one another. I had a great trip at Dillon. Have enjoyed working with Bob Dillner, Tom Ryan, Zach Evans, Mark Keeler. Oh man, so many great people. Patrick Hahey, Cody, and I think of some other people as well. And Mamba Smith. My nickname's White Chocolate, and his nickname is Mamba, Black Mamba. So we've got a nickname for each other, and just awesome people. Kendra Adams and Madison Mabry. By the way, congratulations to her job at, of course, at Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway. It's at St. Louis, and she's moved on. And Bob Dillner is just a great guy. Alan Dietz, good friend. And I will tell you the same thing about Scott and Sophie Tripp and Lakeview. They have totally turned that track around. It's just amazing.
I see they just repaved the front stretch. That's exciting. That's always nice to have some fresh stuff there.
Yes, and it's just great. They're actually working on putting in a PA system, a better PA system. Because, I was there a couple of weeks ago before I had to announce at Dillon, and I helped them install a sound system. And what really got me is they were like, Wesley, we can't get the microphone to work. We can't get the microphone to work. Well, if there's one guy that can know how to get a microphone to work, it's Wesley Outland, so just let me get down there. So we plugged it up, and it was working good, and it started tripping the PA. And I was like, guys, you got an old amplifier here. You got an old system. You got to do some updating. And of course, the old cliche is that we don't have it in the budget, or hey, it's too much money, or what can we do? And we kind of willed and dealed and found some cheaper avenues. And I believe they're going to have a better sound system when the fans come for the Dirt Cup Challenge. So it's just everything they do it to make things better for the race fans, for the drivers.
And that's the whole concept of the Dirt Cup Challenge, the same thing. We want to make the fans happy, the drivers, of course. Without the fans, the drivers, it doesn't matter how many drivers you have. You got to have the fans there. They're number one. They're number one. You got to keep them happy. So, it's I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show.
So to have the Dirt Cup Challenge on MAV TV Motorsports Network, what are you wanting to have the viewers get out of watching on that program whenever it airs on Short Track America later on in the year?
Just the fact that we want more UMP modified, dirt modifieds. That's the whole thing. It's something that's near and dear to both mine and, my other promoter, Bill Long.
Yes.
Bill had the Michigan Dirt Cup Series up here, and I did timing and scoring for them for many years. And then he relocated down to the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and he said Kenny Schrader approached him and says, how come you don't have a Michigan Dirt Cup down here? And I said, well, I'll help you, Bill. I'm in Michigan. He's in North Carolina, but I said, I'll help you. And it was amazing within the first week that we talked about this on the phone. He's calling me. He had like 5 different states down in the area calling up. They wanted to race at their track. I said, how are they finding this out? So, like you said, we want the dirt modifieds are an extremely awesome show down there. It's just so competitive and so exciting, and that's the whole thing. I've got racing all over here. Of course, I'm from the Motor City, but down there, it's a whole different world. It's a different world. It's much more exciting to me. It is.
And you love racing, too, because you are involved in everything from indoor racing to Berlin Raceway, dirt track racing, asphalt racing, open wheels, full-fendered cars. You love them all, Laura Tucker.
All of them. I was supposed to be in Mid-Ohio with the Corvette team last week, but it rained, and I have friends on that team, and yes, I have one of my best friends is Eddie Sachs III. He has Silver Crown teams. I love it all. I love it all. Anything that goes fast, I'm there. Anything.
So, Laura, real quickly, talk about how you got your because normally, okay, we are in a male-dominated sport. I mean that with no disrespect. Normally, there are more males involved in racing than there are females, not knocking the cliche of having women involved in racing. But talk about your successes and your background, your credentials, because you've got a pretty impressive resume, Miss Tucker.
Oh, well, my dad raced cars for 23 years up here at Mount Clemens Racetrack in Michigan, and so I grew up with it in my blood. And by the time I was like 16 and had my license, I could travel all over, and I was doing scoring for ASA cars and ARCA cars on the big series. That's when every team had to have their own score.
Right.
And fortunately for me, we had, I could go right over the border to Canada. We